everyone. Welcome inside the broadcast booth here at Flames Field at the University of Illinois, Chicago. Joey Fearer, Gabby Chernoff. We're excited to bring you this third game we have of our 5-game slate today on the softball pool. It's day 2, and this matchup is Indy and the Cubs. Indy went 1-2, is 1-2 as they fell to the 3-0 White Sox this morning. And the Cubs, their first game of the day, looking to kind of bounce back, get into that win column, some more in that win column. They are 1-1 right now after a loss to the White Sox last night.
Yeah, both three teams right now are 1-1, with Indy falling to 1-2, and the Cubs certainly, if they can get that second win and find themselves right there, they could push for a potential berth in the RBI World Series. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out, especially you talked about after yesterday, not finishing the game against the White Sox, looking to have a better outcome this time against an Indy team that is looking for their second win.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a nice adversity test for this Cubs team. They were winning that game that they lost. They got run-ruled against the White Sox last night, and then the White Sox absolutely just blew it open. So the Cubs will need to bounce back from that. It'll be, like I said, a good test of adversity, and Indy now down 1-2. If they can even up their scorebook, it could give them a push depending on how things go the rest of the day, but we'll definitely have to see how things play out. We'll have it all for you next on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome inside Flames Field at the University of Illinois, Chicago for this Chicago Cubs at Indianapolis RBI matchup. It's the third one of the day as that one hops over the pitcher Voss, and Jacinto not able to get there in time. Daniel makes the play at first.
A good start there for this Indy field. This infield that's had a little bit of trouble at times, but if they can start on the front foot, especially get it done on the defensive end, that can bolster their bats and perhaps get this team going offensively.
The first one on Colosso high. The 1-0. She doesn't go for it. A good read there. 2-0 the count now. This one shanked off the end of her bat. Foul to the left. Early out on Jacinto. That brought up Colosso. Here's the 2-1 on her. She shanks it off the bat the same way. The 2-2 on the inside. Voss set that one up a little bit more on the inside because those two fouls that Colosso just swing at off the end of the bat kind of tells you she's reaching towards the outside, but the full count pitch won't go in the zone, and a walk for Colosso.
Able to stay committed to that and sees a full count delivery, and is smart that, those are easy to swing at because you feel like you have 2 strikes and you don't want to go down looking, and that was smart there. Just let it go above the zone and able to be on first.
So that brings up Alfaro. Jones on her toes early, staying alert, playing catcher at home plate. The 1-0. That'll even the count at 1. The runner on first is Colosso. There's the 1-1. She takes a whack at this one. It's popped foul to the right, just over the Cubs dugout.
Yeah, we'll see how this Cubs team can respond. Had a good win yesterday against Gary, and then they were up against the White Sox 4-1, and the White Sox just put a barrage of runs, and it just was not what the Cubs wanted. So right now they're sitting at 1-1. This is a big game, though, for both teams. Indy, this is their last game of pool play, trying to find and get that second win that's so crucial that we've seen. So big game for both teams, a lot at stake.
Popped off the bat of Alfaro. This one drops right behind the pitcher to throw to first. Not in time there. Dowdy, the shortstop, trying to make the play to Daniel. She found a good spot there to kind of just pop it up. It was right between the mound and Dowdy, the shortstop, over there. But yeah, like you said, Indy's last game of pool play, trying to get that second win, and the Cubs didn't go the way they wanted to last night against the White Sox, but they should be well rested. They had a pretty good start time today. This is their first one of the day, so we'll see how they perform. 1 down, 2 on. 1-2 on Diaz. First one to her will be a strike. 1-2 was the final count before that single for Alfaro. The 0-1 She smacks it to Dowdy, the shortstop, making the play to first to Daniel is in time, but the two other runners advance. Colazzo now at third and Alfaro at second. So both these runners in scoring position.
Yeah, important for them though, yes, you have runners at second and third, but you just got to get this out here. There's 2 outs. Just work on getting the out right now and closing off the inning.
Swing and a miss to kick things off for Perez. This Indy group really likes Voss on the mound. We've seen her start a couple games here. She delivers that one, a good pitch.
Yeah, she's definitely their best and most consistent arm, so it's good to have her. And I mean, she's had a lot of pitches thrown this weekend and still able to get ahead in counts.
Yep, 0-2 gets her swinging, and that'll be the final out of the top of the first inning, scoreless so far. And the Cubs leave 2 on as we head to the bottom of the first. Back here for the bottom of the first inning. Cubs and Indy scoreless so far. Gabby Chernoff and Joey Fear are here bringing you all the action from Flames Field for this softball pool of the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. Happy to be with you here in the beautiful city of Chicago. You can see the skyline just beyond the field. Quite the view, and I'm sure if you've tuned into the baseball games, that might even be almost a better view.
Yeah, that view of the Chicago skyline gets a little bit more enhanced as you're over there, but nonetheless, just a great venue all around, and there's been some very competitive games. Yeah, of course you had your games that have been a little bit one-sided, but nonetheless, it's these girls have shown up and have been ready to play.
Rodriguez, the starting pitcher, but Jones will pop this one up back to make the play. She drops it. That's the second baseman, Gutierrez, for the Cubs, so she'll reach that one. It's a single for Jones to kick things off on the offensive side for Indy. This will bring up Kayla Napier. She's been quite the force for this Indy squad as well, a name to look out for, but she swings and misses on the first pitch. Rodriguez sets up an 0-1 count. That one goes low. Napier will step out of the box. One on. One's on the board for the count. This one popped up foul to the left. Trying to get underneath it there, but unable to make the play as it goes out of the park.
Indy with a good start here. Already a runner on first. And ball, 2 strikes, and Napier. She's been impressive, but she goes down there.
So Rodriguez gets her first K of this one on the second batter she faces in Napier. This one shanked off the bat and foul to the right. It's Gadberry. Now Gadberry in a very different spot in the lineup than we've previously seen her. We've usually kind of seen her in that 8th spot. They've moved her way up to 3rd, and rightfully so. She's done quite a good job hitting here in this tournament this weekend, and it looks like Daniel is out of the batting order. She's been in it for the past 3 games, but she's still over at first. Gadberry, another swing and a miss on this one, 0-2. Rodriguez 1 away from getting her 2nd strikeout in a row. And there's the 0-2 pitch. She does get a piece of this one right to the shortstop, Gonzalez. She'll make the play to first, not in time. The runner advances to 2nd, and a single for Gadberry.
Yeah, Gonzalez had the opportunity to go to try to get Napier out, Jones out, and then unfortunately, by that time, Gadberry was already on her way to first, and just that little bit delayed reaction. They don't have much time. There's not much a distance between home plate and first.
Especially just kind of where that ball was hit to. It was right to the shortstop. If she had tried to make it over to 3rd, that could have been an easy play. So good decision, just holding up at 2nd base, minimizing the damage, eliminating the risk. 1-1 on Miller. Two on, 1 out, the 1-1. This one will be popped into right field, way foul. Good read by Rodriguez, even the count at 2, but stealing 3rd base is Jones. So runners now at the corners. It's Jones at 3rd, Gadberry at first off the single that brought up Miller. It's 2-2 on her. Rodriguez delivers the pitch, that one way inside. The count now full. Rodriguez, the full count pitch to Miller. That one on the outside. And she'll make it to first on a walk, forcing Gadberry to get to 2nd. So the base is loaded on a walk from Rodriguez. Dowdy here in the 5 spot. We saw her pitch last game, the first one to her, just on the inside.
Indy already looking better than last game, already with 1 out here, but bases loaded. And Aaliyah Dowdy, one of their more powerful hitters, has a chance.
Swing and a miss on that last one. It evens the count at 1. Already an error here for the Cubs infield. That one fouled back.
Well, Dowdy's going to just have to get anything on this if a hit in the outfield.
Fouled back in the same spot right off the top of our broadcast booth. We heard that one.
And that luckily everybody's okay down below as well.
Rodriguez, the 1-2, fouled into the same spot.
Same guy caught it off the booth.
Something with this ball. They need a new one.
He's putting his hands up.
All right, the 1-2. And that one, she does get a good piece of hit right to the third baseman. The throw to first is in time. And that'll bring up the second out of the inning.
Tatiana Jones, though, able to get home. Indy finding a way to get an early lead here, and that's important for them. The way last game went, you would like to see that they were down early in that game. Found a way to claw back, but right now, I think getting an early lead, especially in these games, it's huge for momentum.
Yeah, Dowdy able to bring Jones home, like you said, the early lead when Indy's looking to get that second win. Hopefully put them in contention for a spot in the championship game. They've come out really well here as Voss smacks this one into center field, fumbling with it for a little bit, but she's got it. It's Rodriguez making the play for the final out to end the inning.
Yeah, what a play there. Juggled it for a bit. I thought that was going to drop into the ground, but great hand-eye coordination, way to stick with it and get that third out.
We'll head to the top of the second in just a second here on the Windy City Sports Network. So Voss and the rest of this Indy RBI squad take the field for the top of the second inning. It's Chloe Gonzalez at bat. 1-0, the count on her. She gets a little piece of this one, hit foul down to the third base line. Voss, one strikeout in the first inning. That one popped up. Daniels getting underneath it, and she'll get there.
Yeah, way to maneuver over to first. Those can be tough at times, especially when you're running on the foul line. That ball's slicing to the right. You got to be on top of it, and she certainly was there, and that's what you want to see from your first baseman.
Yeah, Daniel looks very clean over there. The cleanest I think we've seen her. So she's kind of found her footing over at first base there. They did take her out of the batting lineup, but she's doing a good job over there at first. So the pop out to her will bring up Rosie Gonzalez. It's 0-1. This one she gets a piece of. It's hit to the shortstop, Dowdy. Dowdy over to Daniel. Daniel reaching up to make the catch, and she gets it. Two quick outs here, courtesy of Cheyenne Daniel.
Yeah, what about an acrobatic catch there from Daniel? Reaches out, extends her leg, and then reaches up with her arm. That was impressive from Cheyenne Daniel. Yeah, like you talked about, responsible for 2 of those outs, but good scoop and play there from Dowdy. That was clean. Could cross the diamond, and that's all you can ask for. Infield already looking better.
They certainly are. Voss delivers the first one to Rodriguez. She has a chance to end the inning with a strikeout, just like she did in the first. That last out was on Perez and a strikeout, but she delivers a ball first and gets her swinging on this second one. The 1-1. Fouled back above us again. That one had a little more on it. We didn't hear it. It didn't come right at us there.
You can always tell by the people in front of us, by their reactions. They were looking back. Fortunate that one went over, but a couple of them close here in our press box. Just have to keep an eye out.
Yeah, we're safe, so nobody worry. She gets a good bit of this one. Rodriguez flies it out, and it'll drop. None of the in or outfield able to make it there in time. You had the right fielder, Yadberry, running up to try and grab it, but unable to do so. So a single for Rodriguez.
Yeah, the lack of speed in the outfield for Indy at times. You can tell that just getting over to the ball quick enough. And we've seen so many of those high balls that just drop right in between the in and outfield.
A bunt. Third baseman Miller comes to grab it. Another play to Daniel. Lots of outs at first base. Cheyenne Daniel, very strong defensive inning there. So that's how Gutierrez will go. And then the next time we see the Cubs up to bat, they'll be very top of their order. Back here, it's the bottom of inning number 2. Cubs take the field. Rollins, the leadoff hitter for Indianapolis. The 1-0 from Rodriguez. It's popped up and over to make the play is Alfaro, the catcher, diving back behind home plate. Really good read and really quick response time there by her. Yeah,
that was impressive there. She dove out, extended, and made that catch. Like we talked about, that catcher, when that ball goes up behind them, they have to act quickly, and she certainly did there, and that was impressive.
That hasn't always been the case with the catchers in this tournament. A lot of that has happened before, and they just aren't able to react quick enough or make the play. So standout play from Alfaro there. So that'll bring up Sellers. The first one Rodriguez delivers to her is a strike, and then she gets her swing in on the second one. Rodriguez ahead in the count, a lot of flexibility to throw what she wants here. There's the pitch. It's on the inside. Sellers gets a piece of it, sends it foul to the left. Rodriguez, still no balls on Sellers. Yo-2 for the second time. That one right over the plate, and she'll go down.
Yeah, 2 quick outs here from the Cubs, and they can keep Indy, steady here through the first couple innings and not allow more runs. It's going to put more leeway for their offense to work. Because this is a team that we've seen that can score in abundance, can score quickly too. Remind you, they had that lead against the White Sox up 4-1, then just kind of gave it away later. But they have a lot of talent on this team, and looking to get a win here. It's gonna be a fight. These two teams are really evenly matched that we've seen, so it's gonna be interesting to see.
Certainly will be. 1-1 is the count on Lindahl. Takes a whack at this one. It's fouled back. Final batter of the order for Indy. 2 outs. Nobody on. The 1-2. She gets her swinging, and that'll do it. Rodriguez ends the inning with a strikeout. 2 in a row. A strong start for the starting pitcher for Indy. It's Voss. 1 strikeout in the first inning. She'll come back out for the third. The first one she hands off to Jacinto. There's a strike, and that one's a ball. Top of the batting order for the Cubs. Voss is allowed 2 hits through 2 innings. That might go for another. Grounded to Dowdy, the play to Daniels, and that one is in time. Daniel very sharp on her glove early here.
Yes, she is, and Dowdy as well. They've had a good connection. That 6-3 putouts have been prevalent today because Dowdy has not really made any errors over in that position, and she's been on top of it, certainly.
It's interesting they're doing so well now. They've been paired together, that shortstop and first base before. Dowdy over at the 6 and Daniel at first. So it seems like they've really found their footing, found some sort of chemistry to keep things going. 1-0. Voss will walk Colasso.
Mia Colasso sees 4 straight balls and is disciplined at the plate there, smart, and just gets on to first. So the Cubs tying run at first, so we'll see if they can add to it.
This one lifted to the left by Alfaro. Diving over to try to make the play was Dowdy, and sliding into third. Colasso will get there.
Yeah.
A double for Alfaro.
Yeah, the positioning there on Indy was a little bit out of sorts. You had, looked like the third baseman just going on over there, and nobody went to tag it as well where she could throw it to, so she just had to run over, and by that time, Colasso was already slided safe. So they have to be a little more smarter in terms of those plays where it's a little bit chaotic in the infield and they have to act quickly, and that's not been the case.
First one bunted off the bat of Diaz. Multiple people running to try and get it, but the play to Daniels, not in time. She brings a runner in to score, Colasso. Hickman, the new catcher out there instead of Jones, which is who they started with, having a word here with Voss. Taking a second to regroup. Perez waiting for her turn. Looks like they're all ready to go. Runners at the corners. The first one to her. She reaches to bunt it, but the pitch is high. The 0-1, one out. And that one gets her just on the inside of the ankle to load the bases.
She was smart there. Just a wild pitch that kind of got away from her. Hit by the pitch, and looks like that right wrist. Hopefully she's okay, but right now the bases are loaded. Only one out. They've had a run. So the Cubs have a chance. Big opportunity.
The first one there smacked right to Napier. Running back to try and stay safe is Perez. She will do so, but a good play there by Napier to get the second out of the inning, and that will bring up Rosie Gonzalez.
That was probably the perfect play there for the Indy and the perfect outcome, where it was just a small pop-up into the infield, because if anything got most likely into the outfield, a runner is going to tag up and go home. So right now, with 2 outs and a 1-0 count.
That one smacked into the ground. It bounces. The play to Daniel is in time, staying sharp with that glove. And Miller, the one to come up and throw it to her. That will end the inning, a tie ball game. Cubs, Indy, 1 apiece. bottom of the third. Rodriguez retakes the mound. 2 strikeouts on the day for her, 3 rather. It's the top of Indy's batting order. Tatiana Jones, a single in the first inning. That one high and inside for the second ball. She's up in the count. Just 1 hit for Indianapolis thus far. Jones will look to tack on another. She can't swing at that one. It's way outside. 3-0. Delivering the pitch is Rodriguez. She smacks this one to the second baseman, Gutierrez. Tosses to Perez, and she's out at first.
Yeah, only 1 error combined between the 2 teams through 2.5 innings. I think the defense on both sides has been exceptional. They've really made some good plays, a lot of catches where they've had to dive out and reach for them. And I think this has been the best defensive performance from both teams so far. Let's see if that can continue.
Napier with a bunt. Nobody running at it. A little bit of a miscommunication there, so she will easily make it to first. But yeah, like you said, both these teams, it seems like they're playing with a lot of urgency, and they're staying level-headed. They look very calm and collected outside of that miscue in the infield that we just saw. But they're both very smart with their decision-making, minimizing damage as much as they can. But the single off the bat of Napier, it brings up Gadberry. The first one to her, she swings and misses. Napier deciding if she wants to try and steal second, but Alfaro staying very alert. She'll decide to hold up at first.
And Indy, this potentially could be their last game, so they have to step on the gas pedal and really put their best foot forward, because if not, they will be going home. So you look at it from that perspective and say, okay, hey guys, this may be our last game. We really have to step it up. So right now in a 1-1 game, they're playing for their lives here.
The 0-2, this one flied out to the center fielder. Getting under it was Rodriguez. The fly out on Gadberry. It'll bring up Miller. Miller was walked the last time she stepped up to the plate. Rodriguez wanting to flip the script with her a little bit as she comes up to bat. That first one right down the middle. 0-1. 1 on, 2 out. Napier, the runner at first. There's the 0-1, reaches for it, and the play, it's high, the throw, and over to third will go Napier, and it'll end up being a double for Miller. Napier holds up over there at third base.
And the first real costly miscue that we've seen from this Cubs infield. Seemed like a routine throw over at first to Perez, and man, that just got away from her, and she would like to have that one back. Head coach Chris Thompson wants to talk things over, because that was a routine play that you just have to make in those situations, and unable to do so now with runners at second and third. Indy poses danger with 2 outs.
Yeah, so routine of a play that's typically made. Napier, when she was on her way over to second, she kind of held up, and then you could hear everyone yelling, telling her to get going. She looked back kind of surprised and then realized, oh, I can go. That throw was high. So she makes it over to third. 2 on, 2 out, both these runners in scoring position, and Dowdy will try to bring them home. The first one to her, she doesn't like it. It's a strike though. Here's the 0-1, it's on the inside. Napier at third, Miller at second. The 1-1, this one hit up pretty high over to left field, making the catch. The ball would have gone foul if it dropped. But it's Jacinto to end the inning. Still tied at 1 as we head to the top of the fourth on the Windy City Sports Network. Top of the fourth, here from Chicago, it's Cubs RBI and Indy RBI. Rodriguez, the leadoff hitter for the Cubs. Voss delivers the first one to her, high and wide. The 1-0 down and on the inside, in the exact opposite corner of where she gave it to her the first time. 4 hits total for the Cubs. Looking to tack on here is Rodriguez. 3 balls in a row to start this inning off for Voss. She has 2 walks up to this point. There's the 3-0. It'll go outside again. So a walk to kick things off for the Cubs offense in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the order now in the 9 spot. She doesn't like that one. Go for a ball. Voss delivers the 1-0. That one very bottom of the zone to even the count. Way inside there, looking to steal second, and there's nobody there to make the play to get her out. The throw to third, not in time. It's off target, and she's on her way home. Rodriguez comes in to score on a couple mistakes there by the Indy infield.
Wow, that was quite the sequence. Jones just stood up and threw it, expecting somebody to be there. It didn't seem like she looked before she threw, and then that goes into the center field, and then just, again, off target with the throws, which allows a run. That came out of nowhere, and the Cubs have a lead.
It's 2-1 now. This one popped off the bat. It's pulling foul to the right. Nobody able to get there in time to get the out. So she will return to the plate. 2-2. Way outside. The count now full.
No outs too with a run for the Cubs, and perhaps if she can get on base here, this can start a rally.
And she will indeed. A walk to bring up the top of the order for the Cubs. Here comes Jacinto. But first, the infield will take a minute to regroup. Seems a little bit shaken. Voss, with a solid start, has walked the last 2 batters.
And he's just looking to, regroup themselves here because had that 1-0 lead in back-to-back innings with at least a run for the Cubs. And that run just came out of nowhere like I talked about. And the miscues starting to pile up for Indy, and they just have to be smart, have to be poised here, because the way this game's going, the Cubs starting to find some momentum and starting to get runs without getting too many hits. Yeah, they've out-hit Indy, but it's been their base running and just the lack of awareness at times for Indy has hurt them.
Now, if you're the coach for this Indy program, Joey, you see your team's kind of shaken. The mistakes are kind of starting to seep through the cracks, and it's affecting the scoreboard. What do you tell them just so it's not kind of a domino effect?
Yeah, I think you talk about the team, and I think you like she did regrouped, and I would say, hey, look, we're okay right now. We have plenty of games left, but we have to be smart with our throws, and as I said, not rush your throws. I think that's got to be a big thing for them, and just be on target. Like, all these girls have the accuracy and the talent to make those throws. It's just at times they have to be a little more self-aware in situations where they need to act quickly.
Yeah, you brought up the accuracy and the talent. The way these teams are selected, it's essentially a tryout and an all-star team from the cities that all these girls are representing. So you have the talent. They come from all different parts of their city around that area. And they were picked for a reason. These coaches saw something in them that they liked, that they wanted to bring them to Chicago to represent the program. The 1-2 on Jacinto. She smacks it to the shortstop, Dowdy, unable to get a glove on it. And on her way over to third is Gutierrez. And it brings up a single for Jacinto.
Yeah, and you see there as that one went into Rollins into center field. I think the more miscues they've had, I think they are not as confident in their throws because she could have possibly threw that to third, just didn't throw it there because I don't know how confident they have been right now, and you'll see another one.
Trying to throw her out at first there was Jones. Doesn't realize that on her way over to second there was Jacinto. So now both these runners in scoring position. 2 on, nobody out. A ball on Colazzo. Count even now, 1-1. There's the pitch. You could hear it go just off the end of her bat. She got a tiny piece of it, but goes to the fence behind us, or in front of us, behind the plate. The 1-2 fouls it off again.
Unfortunately for Indy right now, no outs. They've given up a run, on the verge of giving more.
There's the 1-2. This one smacked into left field, but way beyond the foul ball line. They will redo the 1-2 pitch. Colazzo fouls it back. Also a chance to bring her teammates home, tack on some more runs. There's the 1-2. This one hit into left field. That one still foul, a little bit less to the left than that first one. She hit all the way out there, but foul nonetheless. This is about the 5th or 6th time they've had to redo this 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, staying in the count, and that can tire out a pitcher. So being smart and just continue to make contact. You hope one of these can go into play as Collazo steps up.
There it is. She gets a good piece of this one. Still to the left, running over to try and make the play was Porter. She's unable to get there, so one run will score. Another one on her way home. The tag. She's out at home, so that's the first out of the inning. No outs when that ball was hit. And an RBI triple for Collazo after she hit quite a few of them foul there.
You're fortunate not to give up another run, but how about Dowdy there? As soon as she got the ball in her glove and turned to throw home, threw a lot of pace on that ball, and what a tag there from Jones. And play at the plate, those 50-50 plays you got to make to keep your team alive, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about them maybe being kind of shaken in the infield after a few mistakes there, but, you know, a run did score off the bat, but as far as defensively in that infield, that was a good play, the tag to get her out as she was on her way home. One run instead of two to kind of minimize the damage there. 3-1 the score now, Cubs over Indy, top of the 4th. Still only one down though, the runner at third, and she gets a good piece of this one. It's Alfaro. Dowdy, the throw to Daniels. Easy play there in time. So 2 quick outs. Indy looking to escape this one, but the run will score. Collazo makes her way home. It's 4-1.
Yeah, you know, if you can't force it home and don't have the play there, it's easy to make the right play at first. Look, you get another out. Yes, you give up a run, but you'd rather get one of the two.
Indian infield finding their footing again. Few runs given up here in the 4th, but the infield has been strong on plays. Daniel running over to the right to try and grab the foul ball. She just misses. Here's the 0-2, gets her swinging. And Voss gets Diaz with a K to end the inning. They don't get out unharmed though. 3 runs for the Cubs in that one to make the score 4-1. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. Voss, after pitching a K, comes up to bat. The first one she swings at and misses. Rodriguez still on the mound for the Cubs. Delivers the 0-1. a little bit on the inside to even the count. Rodriguez delivers. Voss takes a whack at that one. It's fouled back off the end of her bat.
The Cubs with a big inning. 3 runs, the exact same situation they had where they were over the White Sox 4-1. And then the White Sox poured it on, so you hope that's a different storyline this time.
Another K for Rodriguez. Gets out the other starting pitcher, Voss. Voss just pitched a strikeout of her own and then goes down the same way, courtesy of Rodriguez. The first one to Rollins, popped up and making the play is Gutierrez, the second baseman. That'll be the second out of the inning. They get 2 quick here. Good defensive start in this 4th inning for Cubs RBI. It brings up Sellers. First one to her. A strike. There's the 0-1. Almost snicked her there.
It's just a bit low, but Sellers, we've seen her be active for this team this weekend, and she's had an impact.
She's 8th in the order. Taking a second outside the box to practice her swing. 2 balls, 1 strike on her. There is the pitch. She gets it to left field, but right into the glove of Jacinto. They get 3 in a row. And that'll bring up 5th batter for the Cubs as we head to the top of the 5th. Cubs up to bat now, top of the 5th inning, a very strong showing in the 4th. 3 runs is what they were able to get in that one. But the 5th batter in the order, it's Perez. Perez hit by a pitch last time she stepped up to the plate. That one just a little bit on the outside of the zone, evens the count at 1. Voss still out there. She gets underneath this one, pops it up to center field, tracking it and catching it is Rollins. The first out of the inning for Indianapolis.
Yeah, Cubs 6 hits right now. 4 of those runs, they've committed 2 errors in the field, but offensively they've started to find their rhythm.
They've definitely settled into some sort of groove. We'll see how long they can ride it out. Chloe Gonzalez, the batter now, 0-1. Voss evens the count. One out, nobody on, 4-1 the score. Gonzalez smacks this one over to right field, and running over to make the play is Gadberry. So the outfield working here. 2 quick outs on the first 2 batters, thanks to them.
Yeah, Gadberry sprinted on over and on her heels there, ready to go, and made a great play. 2 quick outs. Let's see if Indy can finish off this half of the inning.
That one batted on the ground and popped up. The third baseman makes the play over to Daniel. That was hit off the bat of Gonzalez. So they get the 3 batters in a row, and they're eager to get their bats going, try to claw back in this one as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We're back for the bottom of the 5th inning here on the Windy City Sports Network. Looks like Smith has come up to bat for Indy. She watches that one go by. It'll go for a strike. It is Smith. This is their 2nd time through the order. First time around, it was Lindwall. She swings and misses at this one. We had originally on our lineup sheet that it was Porter who was going to be batting in this 9th spot, and then Lindwall. And Smith strikes out to kick things off in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, struck out looking, and right now the Cubs, they gave up that run. Started the game in the bottom half of the 1st, but 3 straight zeros they put up on the board. Currently at 4-1, you have to wonder.
Jones gets a piece of this one. It'll drop right in front of second base. The shortstop and second baseman both running at it, neither of them in time, so it'll go for a single. Top of the order now. The goal for these first 2 about is just to get on base, and then they'll bring up Gadberry, a good hitter, to try and bring them home. Kayla Napier playing second base in this one. 1 down, 1 on. The first pitch to Kayla Napier. She fouls this one back. Three hits in this one so far for Indy. There's the 0-1. She takes a swing at it, popped way up to the left. Kind of in our blind spot there. It landed way over to the left, covered by that Indianapolis dugout, but it dropped way in foul territory. Nobody able to go get it, but a couple players tried.
Yeah, just over the dugout, and we couldn't really see it from our vantage point, but she made a valiant effort, to go after that Collazo, and she gets Napier down swinging.
Both outs this inning have been strikeouts from the arm of Rodriguez. She now has 6 on the day. Jones still hanging out over there at first. She's running now, attempting to steal second, and off the foul ball, she will have to return to the bag at first base. Gadberry resetting a little bit here outside the box. Rodriguez, the 0-1, she gets a piece of it. It'll squeak foul to the right. Jones having to run back there to first again. And Gadberry returns to the plate. The 0-2, Rodriguez delivers. And now Jones will be able to steal second. Catcher Alfaro let go of that one a little bit. So Jones advances to second base. It's 1-2 now on Gadberry. Here's Rodriguez. She gets a piece of that one, smacks it into the ground, and the third baseman coming over to make the play, Perez, is in time, and that will end the inning. A quick one for the Cubs infield here as they are returning to bat. Welcome back. Top of the 6th here on WCSN. Cubs a 4-1 lead. Rodriguez gets a lot of this one, sends it to left field, and Porter there to make the snag. An early out for Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indy right now has to focus on defense and not allow the bleeding to continue for the Cubs. 4 runs in the past 3 innings.
Gutierrez tries to get a base hit there, but Napier making her way over to right field to snag it. 2 quick ones for Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's what you want, quick outs, more emphasis, focuses on the offense, on the hitting side of things.
Yeah, they're trying to get back on the offense here pretty quickly. Cinto watches that one go by. 0-1.
Yeah, and I think also with only 3 combined errors, I mean, these two teams have been great on the defensive end with infield and the outfield really working together And I just really think for Indy, it has to come down to their offense. Not able to continue the rallies. They've had, hits back-to-back at times, but just not really able to finish.
So the 1-1, it's grounded to the shortstop. The play to Daniel in time. She had to stretch out to make that play, but it ends the inning. They go down quickly. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Indy up to bat, very eager to get on the offense. As I just mentioned, they're in a 3-run hole right now, and they have a couple innings to try and do something about it. A quick top of the 6th brings us to the bottom. Indy up to bat. Couple pop outs and a put out to close out that one. Indy on the offense now. Miller smacks that one to right. It'll drop for a single.
She's been great at third base, and now that's good to see that translate into the hitting side of things. Just slices one over the first baseman, and a good start there. That's what you need to bring this back. A leadoff single can only do you and have a good direction going from that, so we'll see.
Yeah, Miller's 2 for 3 today. A double in the last inning. Dowdy fouls this one to the left. But a good way to kind of get your foot on the gas pedal early as they look to claw back, being down 4-1. The 0-1 from Rodriguez. That one a little bit on the outside. Rodriguez evens the count. She delivers that one just foul to the left. Dowdy has also been strong over at that shortstop position there. She's been forced to be very active with how the Cubs are hitting these today. The 1-2 pitch, she grounds this one to the third baseman. She gives it over to the second baseman. She says she's safe.
Wow. That looked like that Collazo made the throw in time, but, the only thing I can think of is she just didn't step on the bag. But that, right now, you have runners on first and second. They would have liked to have that out, force the out at second, and keep the runner on first.
Yeah, that was close. Collazo, you could see she kind of hesitated. You can see her eyes kind of move from first to second, realize she probably didn't have enough time to throw to get the out at first, but by the time she had waited, it was a little bit too late, that throw, just not in time to second base. So 2 on, nobody out for Indy. This is a really good position they've put themselves in as they try to come back. This one smacked off the bat of Voss, getting right underneath to track it is Rodriguez for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, good from Rodriguez there. There was an opportunity for Miller potentially to go 3, but she was smart, retreated back to second, not trying to force anything. Right now, I'll have an inning and 2/3 to try to get this back. Down 3 runs right now. They need a spark.
I think they're on the verge of finding it, as that brings up Rollins way on the inside, trying to steal third, sliding in. That throw, not even close, but she was in time. So runners now at second and third.
This is a big sequence here for the Cubs. We saw them blow the lead to the White Sox up in this exact same position, maybe not in the sixth inning, but a 4-1 lead, and then the White Sox able to pour it on right now. Indy, like you talked about, on the verge.
Rollins pops this one to center field. Underneath, making the grab again, is Rodriguez, sliding into home, but her path blocked a little bit.
Yeah, great throw from Rollins. Had a lot of arm strength. It just, unfortunately, Alfaro, the catcher, just not able to tag that, but that was a good effort. They got the out, gave up a run, but they still have a little bit of leeway, given they're up 2 runs.
So a sac fly, RBI off the bat of Rollins. This brings up Sellers. 2 down. The runner Dowdy over at third now. Sellers watches that one go by for a strike. Sellers 0 for 2 today. Flew out in the fourth and struck out in the second. There's the 1-1. She gets a little piece of this one right back to the pitcher. Rodriguez makes the throw to Perez in time, and that will end the inning. 4-2. Indy gets 1 back. They now have 3 outs to try and find 2 more to at least tie this up. But first, they have to be on the other side of the ball, prevent the Cubs from getting any more. We'll see if they can do so here on the Windy City Sports Network. Welcome back. Top of the final inning between Cubs RBI, Indy RBI. The score is 4-2. Colazzo, the leadoff hitter for the Cubs. Voss still on the mound. She's lasted the entire game this far. The first one to her is fouled back. Voss has walked Colazzo twice today. The 0-1, sky high to left field. Underneath to track it is Porter, and she will make the grab, the first out of the inning, as Indy looks to get back on the offensive side of things as quickly as they can, prevent any damage here. They need 2 to tie it, 3 to win it if they can prevent the Cubs from getting any more here. It's Alfaro. This one popped up as well. A little bit of a miscue. 3 different girls running at it to try and make the play. Daniels looks like she was saying, I was telling you to stay, I was telling you to stay, because she was trying to grab it. But Voss tried to make the play there.
Yeah, they got to stay on the same page. Certainly weren't there, but yeah, that's a good point. Daniel believed that she had that and was going to run up and grab it. Voss, same thing. And that's just, that also is just playing together as well, and just the chemistry. These girls have been put together to achieve something bigger than themselves, and that's to bring home a World Series. So, the chemistry can be in question at times, and that's just a lack of experience of playing together.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot too. Just getting those teams to gel. If you get lucky and this group of girls comes together and they click, it's really going to bode well for them. And we've seen that with a couple teams here. Gary, it's their first year in the tournament. They're 2-1. The Cubs, the host team, 1-2. She finds a gap. It'll reach the center fielder, Rollins. A single for Alfaro. So this brings up Diaz.
Cubs with 1 out. And yeah, you have your runner on first, so boy, if they can tack on a run or two here in the top of the 7th, that's really going to put them at an advantage here as Indy comes in the bottom of the 7th. They know they need at least 2 runs. So the more runs Cubs can have, the harder it's going to be for Indy to get back in this one. You know, a team that went 1-3 last year, looking to do better this year. So Indy not trying to rewrite the same story as they did last year.
Indy is 1-2. They can't find a way back from this one. They will go 1-3 for the second consecutive year. Small break to talk some things over. 1 out, 1 on. Diaz at the plate. First one to her. She'll watch it go by for a strike. The 0-1, Voss to Diaz, stealing second on her way over there now is Alfaro. She gets there.
That's the second time we've seen that, you know, from Jones, and it just doesn't seem like really anybody's there at second to make that tag. Jones, the catcher, doing the right thing of getting up quickly and looking to throw at second, but just off on that miscommunication. It seems like that's what a lot of it is. At times we've seen bad throws sailing over the heads of some players, but really just not on the same page.
Jones, though, has been very sharp, very alert behind home plate. The 2-2, Voss delivers, and Diaz liked that one. Getting underneath to track it is Rollins. Alfaro will hold up at second, so now 2 down. Indy needs 1 more out to get back on the other side of the ball, try and win it. The first one to Perez, just outside. Here's the 1-0. She grounds this one to the third baseman, who's unable to maintain control of it. So it'll go for a single. It kind of bounced into her glove, out of her glove, but gave both those runners enough time to advance to a bag.
Yeah, Miller, she's been great at third base today. So to see her in that situation, not correctly field the ball, just kind of bounced up quickly on a short hop. Unable to make the throw there as well, so she didn't have enough time. So runners at the corners. With 2 outs, Indy's got to do everything in their power to get this out to keep it a 2-run game.
Voss has ended 2 innings with strikeouts. She will look to do so again. Stealing second is Perez. She gets there. Puts herself in scoring position along with Alfaro. The 1-0, she grounds this one, finds a gap right through the middle. Napier over, trying to make the play at first. Daniel drops the ball, and the runner comes in to score. The Cubs get another one, extend their lead. It's now 5-2. The RBI on that hit.
Yeah, Napier, amazing play to dive, scoop that in the glove, but just didn't have enough time as, like you talked about, Cubs bringing a run in. And now with 3 runs, a 3-run lead, they have a chance to even add to it as a steal just on our way to second.
Two steals of second we've seen in a row. Both runners again in scoring position. Gonzalez will try to tack on some more. She pops this one out to right field. Gadberry gets underneath it, though, to end the inning. Indy lets one more up in the top of the 7th. They'll have to find their way back with 4 now if they want to win it. We'll see if they can. Bottom of the 7th, Indy back against the walls. They're looking to even their record at 2. They're in a 3-run hole right now. They have 3 outs to claw back. The first one is a ball from Rodriguez.
Yeah, Indy fighting for their lives right now. This is potentially their last 3 outs of their time here in Chicago. So you have to put your front foot forward and go after almost everything. You got to be smart, though. You don't want to reach for pitches that are way outside. You have to be patient, but pick your moments because right now they're fighting for their lives. They've been out-hit 8-4. They've been decent in the field, but what's really just been at a halt has been their offense.
Lindwall hitting in this 9 spot, grounded to first, an easy play, getting to the bag there. Perez. Gutierrez made the play. The second baseman was over to the right a little bit.
Gonna be interesting to see if for Chicago because right now if they can hold on to this. They're going to go 2-1. They got the Royals later on today. If they can find a way to win that game, that's going to be 3 wins, 3-1 potentially. And if Gary beats Chicago, both those teams are 3-1. So potentially we could have a 3-way tie. It just really depends on a lot of different factors. There's the Cubs one more away.
Yeah, Jones grounds it to the left. The throw to first in time. 2 away quickly here for Indy. This is the top of the order, though. Jones in the 1 spot, and it'll bring up Napier. Napier smacks this one to left. It'll drop right before the line. She's rounding second. They're going to tell her to hold up there, but she decides to go to third. The tag not in time. It was a close one, though. A huge triple there for Napier. 2 outs, and she puts herself in scoring position all on her own.
Wow, that was impressive from Napier, but the throw from Gonzalez to Collazo, that was a bit high. Collazo does a great job to reach up and grab it, but if that's low, potentially that's a tag and that's an out. So hats off to Napier, though, putting in a position where she's able to get a triple and keep her team alive.
Gadberry, this one bounces out of the glove of Perez, and Napier will come in to score an RBI single with 2 outs for Gadberry.
Yeah, how many times have we talked about 2 outs and teams not able to get that third out quick enough or before teams have a rally? And right now, you have to give your credit off to Napier, just keeping her team alive, a great triple, and then just the second baseman, Gutierrez, just not able to handle that. That was a fastball really coming towards her way. And now 5-3. Indy with at least a run in the past 2 innings here. So they're going to need a little bit more to try to find their way back in this.
They pull themselves back within 2. 2 down, 1 on. It's Miller. She doesn't like it. Good read. It'll go for a ball, 1-0. Rodriguez delivers the pitch. She watches this one go by, evens the count at 1. Rodriguez. It's just outside. She set things up nicely for herself. We'll see what she decides to do with the 2-1. Just on the inside of the zone. The 2-2 on Miller. She fouls this one back. That one was right in front of us. That was about an inch from hitting the window of the broadcast booth. That was straight back.
It's off to the person in front of us. Better hands than probably we would have.
There's a reason we're not the ones playing in this tournament. The 2-2 again. She reaches for this one over to third. The throw in time, and that will do it. Over to Perez as she makes the catch. Gets Miller out, so Indy is done for the tournament. Their 1-3 record, though, I don't think shows how well they played here. They were a strong group. They fell in close games, and they won their first one yesterday. But the Cubs come away with their third game 5-3.
Yeah, hats off to Indy. Competitive showing from them. Like you talked about, that 1-3 record doesn't really tell how competitive they were. A lot of games could have gone their way. Just a couple miscues here and there really were the difference. But Indy, once again, coming out with another great showing to Chicago here in the Central Regional Tournament. So hats off to them, and best of luck getting home.
So that'll do it for our third game. We have 2 more we're going to bring to you. The next one being Gary White Sox here on WCSN. It should be a really good one. You won't want to miss it.